Dear students, now we'll take the class of C++. There is the third chapter of your software. Let us see, we have already learned, studied, practiced C++ in our class, previous class 11. What are the things, let us review it, what we have done that in class 11. We have studied C++ data types, keywords, operators, variables, reference variable, etc. We have seen C++ program structure, seen branching statement like if else, switch, multiple branching switch, seen looping statement like do while, for statements for repeating the same execution. We have seen function, how to how to call functions, inline functions, functions overloading. We've seen pointer variable and memory management. Pointer variable and memory management. Okay, these are things we have already seen. Now, what are the things just before we go for new chapters, new topics of C++, I suggest that you practice this. I try this program so that you will be able to remember whatever you have learned in class 11. For example, it's a branching C++ program. Given a number to display the name of the week. In this program, this one the integer day is defined. You've taken a number as input. The number is stored here. So depending on the number value, we are deciding the which date it is. For example, if it is a 1, then it is a Monday. 2 is Tuesday. Like that. If it is 7, it is Sunday. So as to how the switch statements are used in multiple branching. Then this is another program for looping. Find sum of first 100 natural number. So this is your IO stream included. The header file is the main. This integer value return. There are two variable defined or declared sum and digit. Initial sum is 0, digit is 1. Now this is a loop. Okay, until digit becomes less than or equal to 100. Keep on adding with sum and digit is increased by 1. When this loop is over, it will simply display sum equal to this value, total value, and the next line. Okay, this is the looping of in C++. Here we have used the function. Find a factorial of a given number. That also we have learned in our class 11 C++ class. We have seen that. Just to review it, you see here we have defined factorial integer, long integer x, integer n. Enter any integer number. इसको number then उसको we have stored that number, taken the number, उसको factorial we have taken the factorial in x and displayed the value. N factorial is this. The function x is function factorial n function is defined here. Okay, so this is we have used the functions in it already done it. And then what are the new things we'll study here? You see, what we'll study here are arrays, pointers, references, strings. The new things we'll study. We'll see what it is. Principle of oops. classes and objects, constructors and destructors, operator overloading and type conversion, inheritance, virtual functions and polymorphism, and how to handle file, how you working with files. These things we will see one by one. Let's see the arrays first. Array we've already seen in data structure. What is array? An array is a collection of identical data objects which are stored in consecutive memory locations under common variable name. It is a collection of identical data objects which are stored in consecutive memory locations under common variable name. How to define it? This is the definition of array. Storage class, then data type, then array name, then expression. Now the storage class is optional. बाकी जो दो है type and name is compulsory. For example, int marks 100. The integer marks is the 100 consecutive memory location of same data type. This is integer. You define the array. Another example is static character page 8. Here we have used the storage class. Another example is integer value 7. 7 means it will have consecutive number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 locations. Okay, these are the arrays that we've seen in your data structure discussion also. So to find the largest in array, program to read a set of numbers from keyboard and find out largest number in the given array. So what it is done, we have keyed in some numbers through keyboard that have been stored in an array A100. And after storing is over, we have found what is the largest number. That is our program. So this is how we have defined our program. Include IO. This is the array we have defined. Integer array A100. Then we define three variables I, N, and large. Now, how many numbers we want to store in the array? First, it will display this and give some numbers. Say it's 15. Say 15. So up to 15, or rather up to 14 from 0, it will keep on. Number will give key in and number will get stored here. So A0, A1, A2 up to A14, the number will get stored whatever you key in. When storing is over, this storing is over here. So number is stored here, whatever you keyed in 15 numbers. Now you have to, I would see one by one, you have to compare and find the largest number. So this is again this is loop, for loop from 0 to n-1. The first number is A0 is the first number. Suppose A0 is less than the next number, then next number is the higher. So that number move it here. Then increase the I to 2 and keep on comparing like this. Finally, when the loop is over, the large variable will have the highest number. So finally, it's just like largest value is large, return 0. So this is the how you access an array of integer values. Okay. Now next program is sorting an array. Program to read a set of numbers from keyboard and sort them in ascending order. In an earlier program, we keyed in some numbers. All numbers are stored in the A array. Then within the array, we have found what is the largest number. Now the same thing, I mean, it changes is what number you have stored in the memory in the same fashion in the array. After that, you go in bubble sorting. bubble sorting method. Okay, so here you've defined array here a 100. This integer I've defined. Now, how many numbers you want to add and sort? Let us say of sorting 7 numbers. So you put 7 here. Then 7 times you have to put key in the numbers. This is a loop. Okay. When this is over, number are stored in your array. Then this is your bubble setting logic. For I equal to this, and for j equal to 0 to n minus 1 plus j. So when this loop is over, you will get the data sorted fashion. So it will come out from the loop. Then you display ascending order, and then array you write one by one. Already array data in the array already sorted by this logic, by this loop. Now it will simply display it. So 1 to 1 equal to 0, I is less than n minus 1 plus I. Then scout this out. See out. This is a stroke. This is a tab. This is for tab. Okay. So this way you can sort an array. Okay. Now we will see pointers. What are the pointers? We have seen in data structure arrays, pointers. So the same pointers how we will use in C++. So a pointer, what is a pointer? A pointer is a variable which holds the memory address of another variable. Usually variable contains value, but in pointer variable it contains address of another variable. Pointer variables consist of two parts. One is pointer operator, one is address operator. Pointer operator is like this: int star ptr. It starts with a star. Ptr holds address of integer data type. The int is for integer data type का address it holds. Address pointer m equal to and ptr. It starts with and. M receives the address of ptr. Ptr pointer address will get in the m. Now there are arithmetics on pointer also. Pointer arithmetics are ptr. You can put plus plus or plus plus ptr. You can use ptr minus 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 ptr. Then star plus plus ptr plus plus star ptr, etc. The other operation also can be done on pointer. But one thing, the pointer will have the address of another variable. Okay. This is the next program to display the address and the content of pointer variable. Okay, small program. Let us see. You see, we have defined a integer x variable and we have defined a pointer. Okay, ptr. Now x is having, suppose value is 10. Ptr is having what? The address of x. Okay, this and x is means address of x is put in the ptr. Now let us display what is it contains. So okay, see out is value of x is this will be 10 only. Content of ptr. ptr का value क्या आएगा इसमें? This value will become again 10 because ptr is the address. For that value we want. Start is that value. So there also will get 10. The address of ptr will be displayed here in hexadecimal. You can write this program and see and compile it and run it. You can see the what is the output comes. You will get a feel of a pointer. Okay. What is the next? Pointers and functions. How pointers are used in functions? Usually we call functions by value. Now we will call by reference. Use the pointers in a function. Definition may be classified into two groups called by value and called by reference. Here, call by value we have already seen. Now we will use call by reference. What we have done, you have defined two variable xy. Is the your two I mean integer type variable. That address is given here star x and star y. X value is 100 and y value is 20. And we have displaying the x value and y value. Okay, before swapping. Now we will swap these two values not by value. We will do by reference by the addresses. You see, we swap. We have done this swapping function. The function is there. After that, we display the value of x and y. We'll see. The result will be x will be 100. Initially, it was 10. Then after swapping, x become 10 and y becomes 100. How it has become? This is the function called here, and also the addresses are there. Reference is there, not the value. And as a temp, then you see you are what interchanging is addresses. Address of x and y interchange here. So this is the result of sum. So this is a function. Functions use pointers. This pointer means is called function called by reference. Okay, let's see the next one. Pointer and array. Program to display content of an array using pointer. You see, we have earlier we have seen a program where we have displayed the content of a array by value. Now we will use the pointer, not the value itself. We will use the pointer. Let's see. Let us first what we do. We will create a array. One array is given defined here. Integer array, integer value. A4 is the length of the uh, array. Value are 11, 12, 13, 14. We have defining AI and n, the integer we have defined. And we know n are 4. I mean, the length of the size of the array is 4. We consider the array we have displayed on the screen. Now we are putting the loop up to 4 times. The loop is there, for loop is there, where we are displaying the value of the array. Values of the arrays, that is 11, 12, 13 and 14. How will do? We are not doing using the value directly. We are using the addresses by pointer. What this is the form. This is the syntax. In temp, we are moving the value of first uh, first element of the array. How we have written this? A plus I, and before bracket within the bracket, the first is a star is there. So this way you have to refer the elements of an array. So the value of the array is moved here, that is displayed here. So it is put in the loop, for loop. So we will be getting 11, 12, 13, 14. So we are using pointers to display values of an array, not by value. We are using pointers. The reference. What is the reference? Two ways to call by reference: by passing a pointer to argument, or to use reference parameters. Is by passing pointer to argument that we have just seen in the previous slide. Okay. Now you will see the second one, that means use reference parameters. In functions, we use technique A, example reference parameters. Reference parameters. What exactly does? Let's see this program. You see all these things. Whatever is been discussed here, you should do practical. You should write a small C program, C++ program, compile it and test it to get a feel. Okay, we have written a small program is given here to understand reference. So we have defined x is integer, value is 10. We have displayed the value. The minus x, the minus is we have defined a function here. Okay, we are giving a minus a function here, but that function is by calling by reference parameter. But after that, when we display, call this function, after that you simply display. See out on the screen x. Now what the function does? This is easy. This is integer. I is the address. Okay. Earlier you have used star I you have seen. Now you see and I. Okay. I minus 1. This is where you go referring is and I means nothing but the value of x. Okay. Because x value is given. X has come here. So the value will become minus 10. It will become minus 10. Okay. Okay. Now we'll see strings. What is strings? Strings are one-dimensional array of type character. Character type one-dimensional array is the strings. It is terminated by a null or stroke 0. Okay. String constant are written in double quotes. C++ compiler has a large set of now what string means in a set of continuous conventional characters. For example, you think of for example length, length, length. Meaning length within the code. If you write it length, that is a string. What is the size of the the string is len gth 6. But actually, and if we take the null value, it will become 7. Okay, that is called strings, continuous. Contiguous character in an array. Now, how to handle all string functions? Now, it is mentioned that C++ compiler has a large set of useful string handling library functions. Okay, how we handle the strings? That is already library functions are there in C++ compiler. These functions use standard header file string.h, and we have to include this file in the program. So string.h, you want to use string in your program, you have to use this file. It has to be included in the beginning of the C++ program, string.h. There are a lot of string functions there, but most commonly used string functions are string length, string copy, string cat, and string compare. These four string functions we will see now in detail one by one. String length. You see how you do what are you doing? Suppose this is a array. Is written as hello, HELLO. Then this symbol, exclamation symbol. We are defining integer length and length 2. Length 1 is string length array. So in array ka, so string ka jo length hai, that will be, the value will come length 1 and length 2 will come string within the quote HI, because we write the string within the quote. HI is the high, is the your string, uska length kitna aega, length 2 mein aega. If you now display this, or display of this will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6 values come. For this 2 will come. So by string length, you can get the length of a string. Next is copy. What is that function is called? HTCPI. Same thing. Suppose your source is defined as here. Praveen is the one string, and character target is 20. String copy target source. That means from source to target में that value of the string source will come in the target. Now you display the value. What it has copied. Ch.3 means it's copied this from the value from this to this, from the source character to target character में Praveen move किया है, shift copy हुआ है. Let's see what exactly is copied. You see, is because Praveen has come, then space, then Praveen. So it is copied. So by strcpi, we can copy the string from, move character from one place to another, or move the content of the string, or move the string from one source to destination. That is strcpi. Then concatenates. Concatenates. What is that concatenates? You see what it does. Let's see. This is the one string Praveen, and the string is Khanale. Okay. So strcat. strcat is a function we are using. So first is your target, then source. Then we have displays. I mean, the source has added to the target. The target का string क्या था? Khanale. This Khanale has come. After that, the source value has come. Praveen has come. So it has extended the value. This value has become lengthier. So by strcat we can attach. I mean, we can attach two different strings into one string. Okay, this is a string str cat. The last one is compare. Suppose this is a S1 is a string, 51 is a string. You write it Narendra. S1 is I think S1 is an S1, and S2 is another string, and that is Virendra. I and J this is the value. I mean integer we have defined. Now we compare this I mean the value of S1, value of S1, that array will compare with the Narendra. So if its comparison is suppose it compares character by character. If it is same, it is same actually. So value will become 0. If you want to compare two strings, if they are same, I mean exactly same, then value becomes 0. And when they are not same, they give the difference of values. For example, if you see S1 and S2, S1 is Narendra, S2 is Virendra. If you compare, they will not match because N and V, they are two different. They are different. These values are different, so the difference will be there, will be displayed. So if you count, I mean, see out I is the first comparison, that becomes 0, and if you see out J, then becomes -8. The difference is the number. I mean, ASCII difference in ASCII code between these two. So this way we can compare the string. So we have seen what is string. This is one dimensional. You have seen what is the string. String is a one dimensional array of type character. Okay. Then we have seen the mostly used string functions like string length, string copy, string get, and string compare. Okay. Okay. Uh, now we'll see something new. This is a OOP, object-oriented programming. This is something new style of programming. Uh, let us see what it defines, what it tells. OOP, the object-oriented programming, is a new paradigm of programming. This is a new style of programming. It is not like high-level language, procedural programming like COBOL and Fortran. OOP is a programming style which is associated with concept of class and objects. So this is a new programming style. All the programmings are now, I mean, nowadays coming on this concept of OOP concept. So let us understand what is that uh, the class and objects. If you can understand what is class and what is object, then I think it will be easy for you to develop object-oriented programming. Now, what is class? Class is a user-defined data type. You have defined data type integer, character, date, so many things. So you can define your data type on your own, okay, by class concept. So class is a user-defined data type. It consists of own data and code to manipulate that data. Together, this data and code define the properties and behavior of the object in a class. I think we'll see. I mean, it will be clear, more clear once we see the example. So so class is a user-defined data. It has its own data. It has its own function. This both this together, code and this function, it defines the properties and behavior of the object in a class. Objects are instance of classes. A class is like a blueprint of an object. When a class is defined, no memory is allocated, but when object is created, memory is allocated, and we can create any number of objects belonging to that class. Okay, class is a blueprint of an object. From that classes, when you take some instance of the classes, that instances are called objects. When you define a class, we don't occupy any memory location. Memory is not allocated to that. But when you take the create object from the class, then memory is allocated to that objects, and multiple number of objects we can create from one single class. Example: consider the class of cars. See, when you talk about cars, a car, there are many cars with different name and brand, but all of them will share some common properties like. So what I was talking about is that consider the class of cars. There may be many cars with different names and brand, but all of them will share common properties like all of them will have four wheels, speed limit, mileage range, etc. So here car is the class. Wheels, speed, limits, mileage are the properties. In the above example of class car, the data members of the or properties of the will be speed limit, mileage, etc. And the member functions of the or methods will be apply brakes, increase speeds, etc. So if we consider the car is a class, and this class will have some properties and will have some functions. Those properties are speed limit, mileage, etc. And functions are apply brakes and increase speed, etc. So there will be multiple objects from this class car. Your Honda, Maruti, they are the objects of the class car. So how class are defined in the C++? Class declaration. The code on the right side is general form of class declaration in C++. This is the function code for defining a class. Functions are variable mentioned in the class declaration are members of the class and grouped into private and public. Private members can be accessed only from within the class. Public members can be accessed from outside the class. This is the class definition. So how we define it? The class name. Then there are two groups. One is private, one is public. In private, there we have defined variable and they define functions. Public also, we define variable and define functions. This is the close of the definition. This way you can define, we define class in C++. You have defined the class, now we see the object, how it is. For this is another class example. That was the previous we have seen the general form of class. There we have exactly used class in C++. This class is the item, the private integer number, the variable we defined integer number, and float. Cost is a float. I mean, two variable we have defined. Then function we have defined public void get data integer a, float b, and void put data void. So how we define this is the define the class here. Then two variables are defined here. And these are the two functions are defined. Item class is declared. Okay, item class is declared. It has two members and two functions. Two members and two functions. Once class is declared, we can create variable of that type. Class type, item type, we can create variable like item X. These class variable are known as objects. X is the your object. Item is the class. Item X is the object. These class variable are known as object. That's X is an object of the type item. Item is the class. X is the object. More than one objects belonging to the same class can be declared as item X, Y, Z. From the same class, we can define multiple objects. So, class and object continuation में, this is the class we've already defined. At declaration, the necessary memory space is allocated to the object. Private data of a class can be accessed only through member function of that class. Main cannot contain any statement that access number and cost directly. For example, here in our case, these the variables cannot be accessed by any program outside this. It can be accessed only by these functions. And the main program in C++ cannot access this variable, that number and cost. General form of calling a member function is, how to call these functions is the member functions. How they're called: function name dot actual argument. Object name is class item, then function name, then actual argument. For example, X is the object. Here we have defined in our earlier slide we have seen the get data. This is the function we called and the variable given. Similarly, X dot put data. Now we'll see. How do we define these member functions. Here we have two functions. One is get data, one is put data. Why do we write these functions? So one thing is that normally small functions are defined inside the class definition and referred as an inline function. Suppose it is small functions, we can write the functions here itself in the class itself. That functions are called inline functions. And if it is member functions which are not declared inside the class, inside a class, have to be defined separately outside the class. If these functions बड़ा होता है, if big functions are there, they have to write outside the class. What is the format of that functions? So general format is class name. For example, for our case, item is a class name. Then this is symbol. Then function name. This function name. For example, we have to write this member functions outside the class. How we write it? Void item, general format. Item is the class name. Then get data is a function name. Then the variable. Then within this, the function body. Whatever write that what are the job has to be done by this function. It is written here. This is the outside the class definition. We can write the functions. So now we'll stop it here. In next class we'll see one. We write a C++ program using class and object. Okay. Let's stop it here. Okay, we have one more slide before we go to the class and object C++ program. That the slide is called about class and object. Features. This is talking about the features of class and object. What it says: data member of a class. Class have a data member and it has a function member. Two members are there. Now, data members of a class can be static. Static data members is initialized only once when the first object is created. Only one copy of the member is created to share by all the objects of the data. That means suppose we define um, some data member as a static, then when you create the object, that data member will be initialized once. And if you create multiple objects from the same class, the data member will be one only, initialized once, and that one copy will be shared by the all the objects of that class. That is the one features of the static data member. Now, member function also can be static, just like data member. Function member also can be static. Static function can have access only to other static members of the class, both data and function. That means if you have a static function in your class, that function that access only static data and static functions, other static functions of the class. Static member can be called by class name instead of object name. Usually we call the function by object name, but if it is a static function, then we can call it by class name. The last point is objects can be used as function argument by value or by reference method. That means the object, whatever we seen in function, we are using function argument like integer, that character like that. Now the object also can be used as a function argument. Okay, objects can be used as a function argument. It can be called by value or by reference. When you use by value method, a copy of the entire object is passed to the function. In pass by reference method, only the address of the object is transferred to the function. When it is we are calling by the object by value, then entire copy of the object is passed to the function, but as reference only address of the object is transferred to the function. This is the difference. This is the extra these are the features of other features of class and object. So now I think we'll close this uh, C++ first part of the C++. Next we'll see. Okay, fine. Now next we'll see that we next part we'll see we write some programs on using class and object. Now we'll see how it works. Okay, bye. Take care.